Hey everyone, welcome to episode 54 of Two Guys, Zero Planners. We're definitely keeping with the theme of not planning things, so yeah. It's been, 5-6 months since the last one?
Yeah, I checked we released the last one in August last year, so quite
nice. That's longer than my current YouTube hiatus, so, I mean, that's something. Oh, yeah, it's a thing. I guess we should probably catch people up on where we've been. We'll start with you. You've got a more interesting story.
So August means vacation time in Europe, obviously. So that was that. And then in October, so September, the kids started school again. Both started at new schools, though, so there was a lot to do there. And get used to more stricter schedules and going to different towns, taking public transport and everything. So that was a lot. And then in October, I started a new job. And that didn't go particularly well because I got fired in December. First time for me getting fired. Normally, it's the other way around. So yeah, I was a bit shocked for the first day. Then luckily it took me only 2 days to find a new job, and I just finished the first week. So it is Europe, or especially Germany after all. So even when you have just started being employed, you have at least 2 weeks notice period. So it was like middle of December, so I got paid to Christmas time. So I thought, okay, let me take those few weeks off. That should be okay. And then I started after January, after New Year's only. So a bit of a holiday there too. So it was a bit of that job didn't go well. I was in not the best mood. So I didn't really think of recording. So, but now it's all slowing down a bit, and everything is a bit more organized. I already know the company I'm working for, so it should be easy enough, and we should have more time to actually plan a bit ahead and do recordings, at least from my side.
I was about to say, I'm normally the wild card there, so yeah. It's been a little bit of a time, so a little bit of backstory. I was very accident prone at the beginning of last year and ended up burning all of my paid time off by the end of March for the year. Mm-hmm. So from March until a week and a half ago, I had not had a day of PTO. I had also worked overtime to help cover another coworker's shift on multiple occasions. So there were a lot of 6-day weeks as well. On top of that, in October, my oldest dog had cancer surgery to remove a 2.5 pound tumor. Pretty good size.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I think it was 2 weeks after the surgery. Yeah, it was 2 weeks after the surgery. We went to just north of Roswell, New Mexico, to get some pictures of the Ring of Fire eclipse. Normally that wouldn't be that bad of a thing. New Mexico's only 2 states away. But I had just had to shift my schedule so I could take my dog to surgery. I worked a 6-day week the week after that. And then the week of the eclipse, Monday through Thursday, I had to show up an additional hour before work. Then Friday, I still had to work the front half of my shift. Then drive 7 hours from Oklahoma City to New Mexico. Wake up the next day, drive another hour to Roswell, New Mexico, and then drive back home the 8-hour drive that afternoon.
Whew. Yeah, that's a lot of driving, yeah.
Yeah. Then on top of that, I only had 1 day to rest on Sunday before I had to be right back to work on Monday.
Wow.
So I've been exhausted pretty much for all of 2023. Mm-hmm. And I think it shows. When was the last YouTube video I put out? October? Mm-hmm. And the only reason I got those videos put out is I was borrowing those pens from Phil, and I felt obligated to get the review done and get those pens back to him. I have not filmed anything since.
Yeah.
And like I had a week and a half off, and I told myself I'm gonna film a review. I'm gonna finally review my Pelican M805. I'm gonna review that Pelican Stormtrooper. I'm gonna do an ink review or two. No, didn't do any of it.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to wait it out, and then eventually you'll come back to it.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, like, is this still a sabbatical? How long is it going to be? Is it going to be one of those things where I force myself back into it? Or is this going to be one of those moments where maybe I'm stepping away from YouTube and I just haven't decided it yet?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it should be fun, right? If it's not your job, then at least you should get something out of it. And if it's just a chore, then why do it?
And I mean, that's kind of the thing. It's like I feel no obligation at all to the YouTube community. None. I'm appreciative that 3,800 people have subscribed to the channel. Thank you for that. But if you are one of my subscribers and you're listening right now, I feel no obligation to upload for you guys. I really don't. Pens are a hobby. Pens are something that should be fun. Unless you own the pen store, then pens are your job, or you're the pen addict and pens are your job.
Yeah.
But I have another job. Pens are what I should be having fun with. And I have not been having fun with pens because they became work. And once something becomes work, I think I start focusing too much on my return on investment.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't been there.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube is super hard anyway, right? There's like, it's almost impossible to have any return on investment, right?
Pretty much. I mean, you've got some people that are able to do that just because of the subscriber base they have or their ability for one reason or another to make evergreen content. Yes, Fig Boot, I'm talking about you. Your stuff is good. I'm not saying it's not good. It's really good, and you deserve the view counts that you get. I would say the only obligation I feel about any of this would be towards you and Todd, because you two have kind of been tossing money at me when I've been producing no content.
Yeah, okay. So, but at least for me, it has also been, you also do the podcast, right? I just show up and you do all the work and you pay for it. So I thought that's the easiest way to at least contribute in some way.
I do appreciate that because, yes, I do pay for Squarespace every month.
Yeah.
The editing is not that hard. I mean, there's a reason I charge so little for episodes of Expanding Beyond. I enjoy audio editing. I really do.
Yeah.
Yes, speaking of Expanding Beyond, I really expect you and Monica to record something at some point.
Yes, we will be getting back to it. It's just, I mean, if you talk about, this is really a fairly work-focused podcast, and when I'm in it's not a good idea, I think, to talk about stuff when you're in a really frustrated about it, in a bad mood. You don't want to talk about it then, right? You wait a bit, and then maybe in a week or two I can sort of be a bit more chill about it and have some, I don't know, fairly calm thoughts about it, which I definitely didn't have when I was in the middle of it.
Right? I know exactly what you mean.
So that's I will be repeating that story also on Expanding Beyond when we get back to recording that one, because yeah.
I can't wait to get Monica's take on that. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, listeners, expandingbeyond.it. Listen to it. It's a good podcast. I have no ulterior motives for saying that. Just listen to it. But yeah, I mean, it's
I think it's also, maybe it is the other thing that I always wonder is, right, if you have a YouTube channel, you always need to have something new to review.
Yeah.
And is that really the thing you want to focus on in your hobby, right? You would need to be always buying pens and inks and paper and always have something new to show off, right? And it's not necessarily always what gives you joy and what's interesting, right?
I mean, there's been a lot of times where I've had to make the decision between playing the new game with my friends and coworkers or buying a fountain pen for a review or buying enough inks to get me through a review period.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had to miss out on being a normal person for it. And it's just like, that's not cool. Maybe I made the wrong decision then. And it has been nice over the last few months just being a normal person. I ended up selling every fountain pen of mine that wasn't Pelikan, and also acquiring a few Pelikans. So there is that.
Yeah, I didn't go as far as that, but at least I got my collection from, I don't know, 80, 90 pens to maybe a bit below 50 now, which is a good place to be, I guess.
My collection, let's see. Other than the 5 Kavekos that I have on the off chance I ever do ink reviews again, my collection is an M805 Stressman, an M600 Turquoise, M481, just green and black, Tortoiseshell M400, M205, Green Marble M200, that lime green M200 that you and I had that debate about that one time, and I said it looked ugly. Well, I ended up buying it, because of course. Then the iconic blue M120, and a Stormtrooper M100, and a Crusac L16, because I've always wanted a Crusac pen.
Okay.
And Andrew over on Slack was selling his Fountain Day version, and I really like the wood on that pen, so I picked it up.
Yeah, I ended up selling all my M200s because I just never used them.
The bad part, right now, there are 2 burgundy Pelikans for sale over on the Pen Addict Slack. And, that Pelikan M481 has the West Germany stamp on it. And it's in really good condition, and it has a 2-tone gold nib. It's a rare bird, and I want it. But I also just had to set aside $1,000 for my tax liability this year.
Yeah, so maybe pens aren't the most important thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, making sure that the IRS and the state get their money is a little bit more important at the moment.
Yeah, what I've been also looking into a bit more is just buying nibs, right? So FP nibs is in Europe, so it's fairly easy to get their nibs, and they have really ramped up their selection of flex nibs. Or semi-flex ones, right? So I have one in a Jovo housing. So Jovo released those flexi nibs with those cutouts some years ago, and then they sort of modified it even further that it's even more flexi. And I also got it with an ebonite feed for extra flow, and that is really fun on an eyedropper. So I put it in an Opus 88, and that is a lot of fun. And the Bock one is now in my Leonardo Furore, which it's one of the old ones that actually takes Bock nibs. So, and I'm eyeing a few more of those flex nibs. So they also by now offer a titanium flex nib. So it's the Bock titanium nib that they also flexified a bit. So might pick up a few more of those to just, I don't know, use the pens I have with new nibs, because that's also a lot of fun.
I think for me, if I was going to do, Pelikan nibs can be a little bit expensive. They definitely can be. That would be the only drawback with going nib hunting for my pens.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm sad about when it comes to the Pelikans, Pelikan did that re-release some of their special editions, and I missed the timing of it completely. And it was just like, man, that would have been a perfect time to get a replacement Stone Garden. I don't know what it is about Pelikan. I love the way that they look more than any other brand.
Yeah, but I think everyone has their brand where it's much easier to buy another pen of them. For me, it's mostly the Leonardos. I don't have that many. I only have 3, but still, I can see myself buying another 1 or 2. I've been eyeing those special editions with the number 8 nibs, but they're a bit on the more expensive side, so I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
I think the only thing with the number 8 nib that I've ever tried was that one Jin Hao. Okay, what is it about the bigger nibs that you like?
I think what I like most about it is that the grip is so wide, and it just looks better to have a big nib with a wide grip instead of having a really wide grip like some of the Leonardos, but then it sort of a tiny number 6 nib looks small somehow. Somehow it's more, for me, it's more of a design thing than the actual. So I do have a custom pen with a Magna Carta number 8 nib, and that is actually a really nice steel nib. It's actually a bit soft, so it's not a flex nib or even a soft nib, but it is a bit bouncy and not really hard. So that's actually nice. But then I don't really have much experience apart from that one and the Jinhaos. And the Jinhaos are just, yeah, they're nice and they're fun, but they're actually also nothing really special, I would say.
Okay, so it's more aesthetic than it is anything else.
Yeah, at least with those. I don't know if I ever got one of... I don't know. Yeah, it's more that than anything.
I guess I've never really looked at the size of the nib as being part of the overall aesthetic of a pen. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just... That's just a weird way that I look at them, or something along those lines.
Yeah, it's just... I don't know. It's just different.
It's just different. When it comes to the overall aesthetic, I look at the color of it. So like on the M805 Stressman, that black body with the silver and gray and the white gold.
Mm-hmm.
I like that colorway. I like that aesthetic. It's very suit and tie.
Yeah.
And that's what I look for when I'm looking at fountain pens. I've never actually looked at how the size of the nib plays into like the size of the section versus the size of the nib versus the size of the body. Now that you mention it, I'm actually kind of scared to take my M805 out to see if I think that the nib is the right size or too small for that pen now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is also a bit, at least for the Leonardos, it's maybe also because both options are available oftentimes, and then you can actually compare, right? And you see them essentially the same or the same dimensions with a number 6 and a number 8 nib, and you say, hey, looks nicer with the number 8. But if you actually had the other one, probably would be fine too. It's just when you're window shopping, then you can think about these details.
Makes sense.
But then I also never picked up any of those, right? Because they're so much more expensive.
Why do we have to have a hobby that is as expensive as it is?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Why do we have hobbies? I think there are many hobbies that can get expensive really fast.
I mean, okay, I should probably backtrack. I say that pens are an expensive hobby, which they are, but was it the tail end of 2022? Yeah, the tail end of 2022 and 2023. I bought 3 brand new cameras.
Yeah. How many pens would that be?
Let's see. The Fuji XH2s are $2,000 a piece, and the XH2S is $2,500 a piece. So, $6,500 just on camera bodies.
Okay, so one Namiki, whatever.
Yeah, I think. Oh boy, yeah. If we look at the total cost in 2022 and 2023. Switching from Panasonic to Fuji, I spent just under $10,000 on camera bodies and lenses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a lot.
To me, I feel like I've already gotten my return on investment for those, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like the eclipse photos came out amazing. The picture that I got of the moon with Jupiter in tow is freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I think I'm getting my money's worth from it. And occasionally my job has me do the staff photos. So, I mean, there is that.
Yeah. And if you wanted to argue, you could say, hey, the lenses are not, you will never have to replace those. Possibly just the bodies, right? Pretty
much. And as long as I continue to treat my cameras the way I treat everything else, those cameras should last a good amount of time.
That's true.
I mean, they are robust cameras, so that's the important thing. They are extremely robust and should be able to handle quite a bit of, I don't want to say abuse, because I don't like to be thought of as someone that may abuse their gear, but they should be able to handle some stress of everyday life and whatever else that may entail. So, yeah, I will say I have yet to do the XH2S is the newest acquisition. That was in That was purchased in November.
Mhm.
I haven't used it.
Okay.
I got it set up and I haven't used it. I decided that I prefer the XH2s for photography, and filming anything in 8K is just overkill. So the XH2S with the stacked sensor, if I do any video work, that stacked sensor is going to be much better for that. And sure, it's only a 6K sensor, but who cares? It's a good stacked sensor.
Mhm.
And if I'm ever if I'm going to the dog park, that's probably the camera I'll take with me. Sure, I could take the 40 megapixel camera with me, but taking the 26 megapixel camera will allow me to get much cleaner photos at the higher burst rate. So there is that.
Yeah, I still only have a phone. I think I'm not sure if I ever get a bigger camera. It's just, I don't know, when you're running around everywhere with the kids, then even now it's still much nicer to just have a phone with you.
See, there you go with that kids word. What are those things again?
Yeah, they're the really expensive ones that you don't talk about.
Ah, okay. So that's what those are. Are you still doing the guinea pig thing?
Yes, we still have our 11 guinea pigs. Turns out that I might be allergic to them as well. So now my wife is doing all the cleaning.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. But on the other hand, they're really, really nice when the kids are sort of stressed out about school. I don't know, they just pick up a guinea pig and then either do their homework with a guinea pig on their lap, or they just spend 10 minutes with them and then they can continue their work. So I guess they have their use apart from looking really cute.
Actual stress balls. Okay. That makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're fun to watch. They all have their different they're all a bit different, right? One of them likes to sit on top of, I don't know, the hut or the house or wherever. And the other one is really scared of us. The other one always comes here. And it's really fun to see how they're all a bit different.
I can only imagine. I think the closest thing I ever had to a guinea pig, let's see. Yeah, I did have a hamster for a little bit when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But I tried being too cutesy with the hamster cage. So I had all those multicolored tubes that went in and out of the enclosure and all that stuff. And I was really horrible at supporting those tubes. And my hamster was really, really fat. So he would get out a little too far away from the cage into some of the not as supported tubes. And those tubes would fall down onto my head when I was asleep. And the bedding and all the other stuff would fall down onto my head.
Nice.
It was horrible. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. Oh, he was good. He was a good hamster. Guinea pigs, though, I think with how picky I am about noises, guinea pigs, I think, would drive me just slightly crazy.
There's a lot of squeaking when they hear you open the fridge, where all the vegetables are, of course.
Right. I mean, I say that the noise would probably get to me, but I have dogs.
And I think they also don't really sleep through the night. So for us, they're downstairs, so that's not a problem. But then some of them really manage to drink from those bottles really, really loudly. It's amazing. So that would be annoying, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, another 4 to 6 years, and then we are free to go on holiday without having to find someone to take care of the guinea pigs again.
So is that the hard stop that you've put in there, 4 to 6 years?
No, I mean the longest they can actually live is 8 years, and some are already 2-3 years old, and yeah, eventually they will all die, I guess.
But what if the kids, when they get older, still want guinea pigs? What if they try to force you into the guinea pig gambit again?
Well, maybe then we won't at least we won't have 11, which is already a good idea.
Yeah, I was about to say most people when they get a pet stop at like 2.
Yeah, we wanted to stop at 4, but somehow that didn't work out.
Man, guinea pig problems.
Yeah, but I mean, animals and plants in this house, they're sort of a lot, right? I also have all my fish tanks. So.
Oh, how are those going?
Well, I guess I'm sort of now I'm trying to find all those various species that are sort of extinct in the wild and try to support, be part of all those hobby projects about keeping the fish sort of alive in captivity, so that hopefully maybe at some point when humanity has figured stuff out, they can be released into the wild again. Let's see. I don't know. And sadly, there's a lot, especially with freshwater fish and amphibians these days. There's going to be more and more that are going to be in trouble. And obviously, you can't have all the zoos take that on, because showing off some tiny fish is probably not as exciting as showing off a tiger or an elephant or something. So that's
right.
where the hobbyists are stepping in more and more.
Well, see, and then the other part with the other problem with what you just said, humans actually figuring things out, that's never going to happen. It seems like as a species, we are only good at destroying things, not making it better.
I don't know. I think sort of I'm looking mainly at the north of Mexico these days, and they actually have managed to release one of them back into the wild again some years ago. But that's like one out of I don't know how many. So it is still hard work and doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, I tend to only see the other part, the wildlife spectrum, where it's, oh, this species of marine mammal is now going extinct because humans have decided to human. Good job, humans.
Yeah.
It kind of brings up another thing I wanted to ask you. I know a while back you had deleted every social media app on your phone just about. Is that still the case?
Kinda, yes. Or sort of, I have Mastodon on the phone, but I rarely use it. So maybe once every few days for 10 minutes or something. It's like, I don't know, Twitter, when it started out, it's very, there's no algorithm, right? So you can basically, you follow people and then you see stuff they've posted, and that's it. So there's no algorithm there that tries to keep you on the phone for a long time. And then sometimes I install YouTube and watch a video or two. And sometimes I get sucked into watching shorts. But then I usually get neck pain from watching stuff on the phone, and I delete it again. But all the other ones, I actually completely deleted my Facebook account and my Twitter account. I think I might still have my Instagram account, but that's really just, I go there maybe once a week or once a month when my wife says, hey, I've sent you all those funny whatever videos on Instagram. Have you watched them? That's when I go to Instagram on my computer and watch those, and that's about it. Yeah. So for me, it's not necessarily about spending all my time there, but about not getting headaches and from the weird position you're always holding your phone. But yeah, this is really, really important. I can just, it takes me half an hour and then it hurts again, and it doesn't go away until the next day or something.
Yeah. As far as social media stuff goes, the only thing that I currently have on my phone is YouTube. Lately, though, it was Instagram and YouTube, and I was going back and forth. Okay, should I even have Instagram on there? Do I feel obligated to check it for any reason? And it was kind of starting to feel like, yes, I should, because going back to the whole YouTube thing, I have a YouTube channel. I link to my Instagram, yada, yada, yada. And I've kind of just been on the fence about that. Should I just quit having it on the phone and just keep it, if I do feel like I need to check it for some reason, just check it on the computer when I need to? I think one way to fix that problem, I'm going to delete my Instagram link from our show notes going forward. There we go. Done. That has been accomplished. Yay.
I just logged in for the first time in Instagram on this new computer that I got a week ago or something for work. That's how often I go to Instagram.
What kind of computer do you have?
Latest MacBook Pro 14-inch.
So the M3.
Yeah, M3, 24 gigabytes of RAM.
Nice. Oh, I bought a MacBook Air. That's what I do all my photo editing on now. And my finances. I do all of my adulting on the MacBook Air. I host the TeamSpeak server on the Mac Mini. And then all of my gaming and everything else is on my PC.
When I got fired in December, I had to give back my computer, and I didn't get the one for the new job until last week. And in between, I actually used a 10-year-old MacBook Pro. It was surprisingly okay and usable for, I don't know, watching YouTube videos and browsing the web and stuff like that. So that computer definitely was worth its money.
If you tried doing anything with a 10-year-old laptop on the PC side of things, dear God, that would be painful.
I mean, it was. I think it was still on Big Sur or something. The OS, so couldn't update it to anything more recent, but it still worked, right? Which is amazing.
And I mean, sure, Big Sur is sort of out of date, but it's not that out of date.
Yeah.
If only Apple was able to make a gaming centric that could go toe to toe with an NVIDIA RTX 4090 on graphics power. If they could only do that and have a robust gaming catalog, I would be happy.
Yeah. For Christmas, my parents bought the kids, or they gave us money, and we bought the kids a actual Windows gaming laptop, because they were actually using that 10-year-old Mac to play Minecraft and stuff. So that was a bit painful for them. And now they have a better machine.
Oh, man.
It's the first time I've been actually had to figure out how to do stuff on a Windows laptop since I don't know how many years.
I can imagine. I mean, you've been Mac centric for how long? Pretty much all of it?
I don't know, 20 years. So I don't know. My first Mac was a white iBook. I don't know when that was. Probably 20 years or something, roughly. Maybe not quite 20, but
I was about to say that sounds pretty old.
Yeah.
My first laptop was a Toshiba that I bought for college, and I dropped it on accident. It fell out of my backpack on accident down a 3-story drop. And I thought I broke the screen. My friend still uses it as a guinea pig for things.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow it still works. And he fixed the screen with duct tape. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, electrical engineers, man. They'll fix anything with duct tape. It has been good catching up. I will say before we go, though, I actually get to do something fun this year. I'm crossing something off of my bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to hire a private chef, and could never find a good reason to do so. Because around here, private chefs for any occasion are fairly expensive. Turns out one of the people I game with is a professional chef.
Okay.
So I was joking around with him one night, and I was like, hey, how much would I have to bribe you to fly out from Denver to Oklahoma to do an entire custom getup for the Super Bowl? Not just chicken wings, but an actual multi-course dinner. And he made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So me and a couple of my friends are going to have a private chef for the Super Bowl, and it's going to be amazing.
Wow. That sounds like something, yeah.
I mean, we're still going to have chicken wings for one of the appetizers, but I am really looking forward to the Brulee Chocolate Angel food cake, and the reverse seared New York strip, and the twice baked potatoes. Those are going to be phenomenal.
That sounds nice. Yeah, for us, the bucket list, it's actually an item from my wife's bucket list. So she wanted to see the Northern Lights for forever. And apparently it's the solar maximum right now. And if we don't do it now, we have to wait another 11 years.
Yeah.
So that sort of forces the decision a bit. So for Easter, we are going to the north of Norway, to Tromsø for a week to, I don't know, maybe go Northern Lights, see the Northern Lights, or I don't know what else. They have various museums there. It's actually surprising. It's the town Tromsø itself has actually over 70,000 inhabitants, and it's really far north.
That's larger than some of the suburbs here in Oklahoma City. That's crazy.
And it's like, on average, it's actually not colder than Munich, right? Because you have the Gulf Stream, and then Tromsø is directly by the sea. So we probably don't even have to be packed crazy unlike going to something like Finland or north of Sweden on the other side of the mountain range, where it's really, really cold.
So when are you doing that?
Over Easter. So the kids have 2 weeks of school holidays, and we'll just go there for a week.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, if you were doing it like in the next week or so, it may be cold. I mean, God knows it's cold right now where I'm at. It's currently, the wind chill is sitting at negative 15 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius, Fahrenheit. Yeah. So I don't know what that is in real units.
Bloody cold.
Yeah, bloody cold is right. Before we recorded today, I had to take my dogs for a walk.
How long did they want to stay out?
They did not want to stay out at all, except to eat 1 or 2 mouthfuls of snow and call it a day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the bad thing is, I am a perpetual shorts wearer.
Okay. Yeah, that's a bit cold for shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, my entire wardrobe is cargo shorts, except for the one pair of pants that I own for job interviews and jury duty. Everything else is cargo shorts. And yes, I was out there in shorts.
So you're one of those people. Yes, there's one everywhere. I think you see them here too, and always wonder how they do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was wearing 2 pairs of shorts and 4 shirts and a hoodie and a ski mask and a beanie and 2 pairs of gloves.
Yeah, for us it was actually nicer than that. So it was just below freezing, and it had been for quite a while, maybe a week or something, and it didn't snow. So one of the local lakes actually froze over, and it froze over really, really nicely. So no snow on it, so it was really perfect for ice skating. So we went ice skating today. It was like, I don't know, -2, -3, just below 0, and the sun was shining. So it was really nice.
See, we never get anything like that here. The lakes are in such a way, and with how the freezing temperatures work around here, it never happens in such a way that you can go ice skating on any body of water. It's just...
Yeah, it only happens really every few years, where you can really, where you have nice ice. So it freezes over maybe each winter, but sometimes it's like, it freezes and then it's like above 0 maybe, and it starts snowing, and then it freezes again, and then you have this half melted stuff frozen on top of it, and it's not flat and you can't really ice skate. But this year it's really nice. It's going to stay cold the rest of the week, so we have to spend our afternoons there, I think.
Well, definitely sounds like a plan. I, based off of the noises my dogs are making and the Amazon delivery notice that I just got, I have a new keyboard to build. So I think we will probably wrap it up here, and we'll save that topic for the next episode. Because aside from pens, I have I guess I would call it my version of Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've started doing custom keyboard modding and building. So
yeah, I'm staying far away from something like that. I could see myself getting into something like that, but yeah, I'll stay with Chinese pens. That's probably cheaper in the long run.
I will say, I built a switch tester yesterday with 32 different keyboard switches. Yeah, there's a few on here. One of them in my spreadsheet I actually have listed as RSI inducing, because it takes 95 grams of force per key press.
Yeah, and that's the other thing for me. I had in the beginning when we got a computer, I really had some wrist pains there, so I've been basically using the really, really flat Mac ones, and that works for me. They're not exciting, but actually I don't have any pain, which is the main thing.
Yeah, I found some mechanical switches I like that we'll talk about it on a future date, that I really like the way they feel, and they almost don't make a sound. It is amazing.
But isn't the point that they actually make sounds?
I mean, if you want this in the background at all times. Now, that got picked up in my audio in Audacity, and that'll be on the podcast, but Urban didn't hear it because I'm a good co-host and had my noise gate turned on TeamSpeak. Nope,
I did hear it.
Oh, you heard the clicking?
Yes, I did.
Crap. Yeah, I refuse to build keyboards with those switches. Clicky keys just annoy me so much.
Yeah.
I know, Karma, there's a package on the front door that I need to get. I know. You can quit bugging me. Go lay down. That's my cue. So I'm going to go get that. And we'll see what happens first. Another YouTube video or another podcast episode. I have a strange feeling it'll probably be a podcast episode. So we'll figure that out. Who knows? We'll see when that happens.
Exactly.
All right. Well, till next time, we'll see you on your podcast player of choice. Bye.
Bye-bye.